On Sundays, he was invincible. By Monday morning, he could barely walk. The world saw the smile, the visor, the smooth glide through collapsing defenses. They saw number 21 slicing through chaos like it was choreography. They saw records fall and end zones flood with celebration. What they never saw was the ice, the silence, the negotiations with his own body in the dark. For nearly 20 years, LaDainian Tomlinson lived two lives at the same time. One under stadium lights, one behind closed doors. One celebrated, one endured, and the belief that powered both of them was simple, brutal, uncheckable. If I stop producing, I disappear. That belief made him a legend. It also nearly broke him. At the peak of his career, Tomlinson wasn't just great. He was the standard, the complete running back, the prototype every coach wanted and every defense feared. In 2006, he delivered a season so dominant, it forced history to adjust its measurements. 31 touchdowns, League MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, a scoring machine operating at full precision. Every Sunday became predictable in one way. At some point, he would take over. He didn't just run. He glided. He cut without warning. He absorbed contact and kept his balance like gravity had signed a private agreement with him. He led the league in rushing touchdowns, total touchdowns, points. He turned routine carries into inevitabilities. By the time he retired, his resume read like mythology. Over 13,000 rushing yards, more than 18,000 from scrimmage, 162 total touchdowns, 5 Pro Bowls, 5 first-team All-Pro selections, a gold jacket in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. To the public, it looked clean, linear, earned, but greatness that consistent doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in fear. Long before the NFL cameras arrived, before the stadium roars, before the MVP chants, there was a boy standing in a doorway waiting for someone who never came back. Tomlinson's father left when he was young. Not with a dramatic goodbye, not with a final conversation, just absence. The kind that doesn't explode, the kind that lingers. No explanation, no closure, just a quiet lesson. People leave, and when they do, you're on your own. In that house, there wasn't space to unravel emotionally. His mother held the family together with discipline and faith. Life had to move forward. Work had to be done. Strength wasn't optional. So he adapted. He didn't learn how to process pain. He learned how to function through it. That became the foundation. The internal code: don't wait, don't depend, don't break. If something hurts, keep going. Football wasn't just a game. It was structure. It was clarity. On the field, the rules were simple. If you fall, you get up. If you're hit, you return to the huddle. No one pauses the clock to ask how you feel. It made sense to him. Every carry was proof he existed. Every yard was confirmation he mattered. Production meant presence. Silence meant safety. If I stopped producing, I disappeared. At first, it worked. Coaches praised his toughness. Teammates respected his endurance. Adults saw maturity beyond his years. He became known as the kid who never complained. But praise can be dangerous when it rewards suppression. Every time he played through pain, he was celebrated. Every time he ignored fatigue, he was labeled resilient. The message reinforced itself. Pain is normal. Pain is acceptable. Pain is weakness leaving the body. By the time he reached Texas Christian University, he wasn't chasing glory. He was chasing validation. TC, he wasn't a powerhouse. It wasn't the national spotlight factory. It was a program fighting to be noticed. And that environment fed his belief perfectly. At a small school, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. You don't get hype without proof. Every week is an audition. Tomlinson didn't just want to be good. He needed to be undeniable. He shattered records. He led the nation in rushing yards. He put up numbers that forced analysts to pay attention. But the recognition never felt permanent, because it wasn't. Every game reset the scale. He began tying his worth entirely to output. Yesterday's performance meant nothing. Today's numbers were all that counted. If I stopped producing, I disappeared. It pushed him harder. It also trapped him. By the time he entered the NFL, selected 5th overall by the San Diego Chargers, he wasn't celebrating. He was calculating. The Chargers weren't drafting depth. They were drafting salvation. The franchise needed a face, a foundation, a solution, and he felt it immediately. There was no easing into the league, no gradual adjustment period. From week 1, he was the centerpiece. The offense ran through him. The expectations sat squarely on his shoulders. He responded the only way he knew how. Run more, lift more, study more, endure more. On Sundays, he was electric. The stadium would rise the moment he touched the ball. Commentators spoke his name like a guarantee. He made defenders miss in tight spaces. He turned broken plays into highlights. On Mondays, he moved slower. The cameras didn't follow him into the training room. They didn't see the ice baths, the taped ankles, the stiffness in his knees, the back that needed stretching before sunrise, just to loosen enough for meetings. The double life had begun. Sunday, hero. Monday, repair. Sunday, chance echoing through. Concrete. Monday, silence in a dark room with an N. Ice pack pressed against swelling joints. He never complained, because complaining would create doubt. Doubt could lead to questions. Questions could threaten his role. And his role was everything. As the years stacked, so did the hits. Running backs absorb contact for a living. Every carry is an agreement with collision. He welcomed it, initiated it, lowered his shoulder into it. His body kept the ledger. Knees inflamed, ankles sprained, shoulders bruised. Minor injuries that never quite healed because there wasn't time to heal them. Just enough recovery to perform again. He learned to compartmentalize. Pain belonged to Monday. Performance belonged to Sunday. The two were not allowed to meet. Teammates saw focus. Coaches saw professionalism. Fans saw durability. What they didn't see was negotiation. Should I report this soreness honestly? Or call it tightness and move on? Should I sit out this practice? Or push through so no one questions my commitment? Small decisions, repeated weekly, compounding silently. If I stop producing, I disappear. The belief that protected him as a child was now driving him as a man. It built his greatness. It also erased his margin for humanity. Then came 2006, the year everything aligned publicly, touchdown after touchdown. A record-breaking 31 in a single season. Defensive coordinators redesigning schemes just to contain him. MVP trophies. End zone celebrations becoming ritual. He wasn't just playing well. He was redefining excellence. And yet, perfection is heavy. Every score raised the expectation for the next game. Every highlight expanded the myth. The league adjusted. The workload remained. Inside his body, the debt accumulated. The peak didn't feel like a summit. It felt like acceleration, because when you reach the top built on production, there's only one direction. Fear allows you to look. Down. In the playoffs that season, the Chargers fell short. The numbers were historic. The ending was not. And in a league where legacies are often measured in championships, that absence lingered. He carried that 2.0 Super Bowl ring to validate the sacrifice. Just more seasons, more carries, more responsibility. As he moved into his late 20s, then early 30s, The machine kept running, but the wear became harder to mask. Speed fades subtly. Recovery slows slightly. Cuts feel heavier. The public narrative rarely changes quickly. The private one does. Sunday still required brilliance. Monday demanded more repair. He wasn't just battling defenses anymore. He was battling time. Eventually, the separation between the two lives grew thinner. The body that had once obeyed instantly now hesitated. The margins tightened. The hits felt deeper. And for the first time, the belief that had guided him began to confront reality. What happens when you physically cannot produce at the same level? Does that mean you disappear? In 2010, he signed with the New York Jets, embracing a reduced role. Fewer carries. A shared backfield. A shift from centerpiece to contributor. For someone whose identity was built on being the engine, it was a quiet reckoning. He adapted again. Became a leader. A mentor. Still productive, but no longer the focal point. The world saw a veteran extending his career. He felt the transition. Eventually, the game moved forward without him. As it always does, retirement didn't come with collapse. It came with reflection. When he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the speech was composed, grateful, humble, the culmination of a career defined by excellence. But beneath the gold jacket was a man who had lived in survival mode for decades. The core belief had driven him to the pinnacle. It had also denied him softness, rest, vulnerability. If I stop producing, I disappear. The truth is, he never disappeared. Not when he was injured. Not when he slowed. Not when he stepped away. The world's memory of greatness isn't erased by a single quiet season. But inside him, that lesson took time to unlearn. The double life wasn't about deception. It was about protection. The child who once faced abandonment built armor. The athlete refined it. The legend perfected it. Sunday glory. Monday silence. Public strength. Private negotiation. Admired by millions. Understood by few. Today, when we look back at LaDainian Tomlinson, we see the numbers, the highlights, the dominance. What we should also see is the cost, the discipline forged from absence, the endurance shaped by fear of invisibility, the resilience that inspired a generation, and the vulnerability that hid beneath it. Because greatness isn't just what happens under the lights. It's what survives in the dark. And the man who once believed he would disappear if he stopped producing, ultimately proved something far more powerful. He mattered long before the touchdowns. He still does long after them.